Hi everybody, I'm Phil with LS2 Helmets, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install the LinkIn RidePal by SENA into the LS2 Rebellion helmet. You can see it's a pretty nice installation once it's done. We're going to go step by step. I hope you find it useful. But before we start, I want to make one important point. As you're learning how to use this system, if anything I show you doesn't seem to be working the way you think that it should, turn the system off, turn your phone off, turn them both back on and start over. You're not going to break the system. You're not going to be able to push any buttons that are going to cause any permanent damage. So if it's new to you, technology's new to you, don't worry. Step by step, if it doesn't happen the way you think it should, shut it all off and start from the beginning and start over. There are only a few steps to follow, and I think you'll find it to be pretty easy. So it looks like we've got a lot going on here. We really don't. There are 4 wires that come out of the brain. This is the mastermind of the whole system. This is the antenna. You can see the SENA or SENA logo right there. This is going to slide in between the helmet shell and the EPS, and I'll show you that in just a moment, so don't worry about that. This pad comes with your helmet. When you bought a Rebellion, it came with this pad. One side has this pocket right here, and the other side does not, okay? But those 2 pads come with the helmet. When you order the system for the Rebellion, it comes with this additional pad, which replaces the other side pocket. Now this has 2 pockets. It's got one right there that's gonna hold the brain, and then it has an additional one right here that will hold the speaker on that side of the helmet. So the first thing that we need to do is put the brain and this cable, the charging cable, into that pocket. So I just kind of line it up like this, and you can see that the CE logo goes toward the outside of the pocket, and I just let it slide in. And again, I try to start with that cable, and I promise you this is a lot easier to do when you're not trying to reach around a camera to make it easy and visible. So in it goes, it slides on in. Get those cables out of the way, and just take your time and work it in until you feel that it's in a good position. Pop that last little piece in. Now, I would probably prefer that this be on the outside, so I'm going to tuck it here so that it's not pressing against my ear, and essentially you're there. You now have the brain installed into the pad. Okay. Now we're going to install the unit into the helmet. You can see how I have the helmet resting on my workbench here. There's the LS2 logo that tells you this is the front, that's the back. I have it resting on a little holder here. If you don't have one of those, you can use a stacked towel or some other padded surface. You just don't want to scratch the top of your new helmet. I try to fold the ear flaps out the best as I can to get them away and out of my working area. So just a moment ago, we installed the brain into this outer pocket. Next, we're going to be concerned about the short wire speaker, which is this one right here. It's the one without the microphone boom. So what I do is I find the little pocket. I'm going to wrap this around one time like this, around the top, and then just flip it over and stuff it into that pocket. Now you'll be able to rearrange that a little bit. Once it's in, you can reach in with your fingers and rearrange it to make it more comfortable, and know that this wire is actually going to be sandwiched between the pad and the outer ear flap. Now you want to take the antenna here and you're going to slide it between the shell and the padding, right about where that rivet is. You might have to go a little forward or back, but you'll find the sweet spot. And you want to slide it in just a little bit at a time, work it in. Don't just try to push the whole thing because you might break it. So in we go. I find the spot, I start working it in, and it slips in pretty easily. And then once I get it so low, I'm going to go ahead and tuck this pocket into the opening in the ear flap like that, and then I can go ahead and work it in the rest of the way. Once it's in, I'm now concerned about this piece. And what I do is I wrap it underneath one time and then flip it over and tuck it in. There's a little pocket here where the control panel slides in and is in position. Plus is forward, minus is back. and then go ahead and tuck your wire and snap that in. There you go. Now that is on. Next we have this unit, and this is going to come around the back, and you're going to unsnap the liner all the way around, and we're going to go tuck this wire into this area of the helmet. So the wire is going to be underneath this flap, and you need to get it over these little snaps. So just tuck it in. Make sure you're over the snap. Get the snaps back on. And then you now have this unit. Take your other earpiece, line it up so you know where the snaps are, and you're going to want to turn this so that the microphone basically follows the line like this. So there I go. I'm tucking it in. And allowing that wire to be pinched behind the earpiece. And again, you can adjust it, and the microphone can be tucked underneath this elastic strap and adjusted wherever you need it. So then you can see that once this is attached, you can move the boom mic around. It can be fairly far away from your mouth and still operate. It does reduce wind noise. So it's a very nice functioning unit. I go ahead and make sure I've tucked all the wires back in, any place that I see it a little bit loose, but essentially you are there. One more time, pull the pocket out, make a nice clean installation, and we're ready to go. Okay, to turn the LinkIn RidePal by SENA on, you're going to use this plus button and this center button right here, and you're going to press them at the same time. Now, one thing I want to make sure you're clear on, this clip and this wire that you see off to the side is the microphone for the camera. It has nothing to do with the system, but I'm hoping that it will pick up the prompt, the voice prompt that you'll hear. To turn it on, you press these two buttons at the same time. You should hear ascending beeps until you hear a voice that says hello. So I'm going to press them. And there you go. The system is now on. To shut the system off, you use the same two buttons, and you should hear descending beeps until you hear the system say goodbye. And now the system is off. To adjust the volume on the LinkIn Ride Now by SENA, you use this plus sign to increase volume and this minus sign to decrease. Each time you press it, it will increase one level until you reach the maximum level. And when the maximum volume is reached, you will hear a series of multiple tones. That slight beep tells you you're at maximum volume. To decrease, you just press the back minus sign until you're at a level that you're happy with. To answer a call on the LinkIn RidePal by SENA, simply press this center button one time, just one click, and you'll answer the call. To reject a call, press and hold that same button for about 2 seconds, and you'll hear a tone while you're hearing the call ringing. To hang up, press and hold for about 2 seconds, and again, you'll hear a tone telling you that the call has been disconnected, or the person calling you can hang up and the call will disconnect automatically. To pair the LinkIn RidePal by SENA with an Apple iPhone, you're going to press this center button and you're going to hold it down. You're going to hear 2 voice prompts before you hear the words configuration menu. Now you want to make sure that you get to that configuration menu. Once you hear the voice prompt for that, you're going to press this button one time and it will say phone pairing. Now, before you do that, you want to make sure that you get your cell phone discoverable. So you go from the home page, hit settings, Go to Bluetooth, make sure that it's on. If it looks like this, it's off, and there it's on. So now that this is discoverable, you press and hold. First message. Second message. And there you go. Now press this one time and it says phone pairing. You can now see it appear on your phone screen. Tap that. On some phones, it will require a password of 4 zeros. Again, 4 zeros if password is required, but you can now see that it's connected and ready to go. To pair the LinkIn by RidePal system with a Samsung phone, you're going to press the center button and you're going to wait for 2 voice prompts. The third prompt will say configuration menu. Once you get there, you need to press this button, the plus button, 1 time, and you'll hear it say phone pairing. So let's start from the home screen. You're going to go to settings, you're going to go to Bluetooth, and then you're going to hit scan. It's now scanning. Press and hold. First message. Second message. Now press 1 time. Now my phone here stopped, so I'm going to scan again. There's the LinkIn. Give it a click. And it is now paired. Now some phones will require that you press a series of numbers. You would press 4 zeros for a password if required, but many phones are automated just like this one. So there you have it, a complete step-by-step guide on how to install and do all the basic functions of the LinkIn RidePal by SENA. I just want to repeat one message that I gave you at the beginning of all this. If you're good with technology, you're not going to have any problem with this system. It works very much like almost everything else that's out there right now. If you're new to technology or if it's something you don't deal with very often, just relax. You're not going to break this system by punching the button or holding it too long or anything else. If you follow the steps that I've laid out for you and that are in the manual, it should work. If it doesn't, you might have missed something. Just shut it off, shut your phone off, restart both, and start the process over. I'm sure you're going to get it quickly, and I hope you enjoy this system in all your future rides.